Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well today. It's Eric from the MMG, and we are checking out another game. This one is Lords and Villains, a colony sim that is published by Fulcrum Publishing and developed by Honestly Games. This video is sponsored by Catapult. They are who hooked me up with a publisher to get a review done. So thank you to them and the publisher for giving me this chance to check this game out. This game has been out for a little over a year now. September 30th of 21 is when it released into early access. It's got very positive reviews, and it's coming out into full release or out of early access, whatever you want to call it, here on November the 10th. So very soon. That's one day from now. Now we do have access to the full early access version. So what you're going to be seeing is what you will get on November 10th if you're looking to buy it right now. This game is currently $24.99. I do not know if it will have a little sale going. Some of the games do that when they come out, 10% off or something, but I'm not aware of this one being on sale, but you may be able to save a little bit of money and pick it up. All right, we're going to dive in and check this game out, so let's get to it. All right, so as you guys know, this is a quick look, so I will play for 3, 4, 5 hours, whatever it takes to get to a good spot, and I will cut in whenever something cool happens and show you guys, hey, I really like this about this game, or hey, I don't like this about the game. And so I'll compact it all into about a 20-30 minute video to save you guys time and to hopefully get you guys to watch the video and give us a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. First thing I noticed right away in the settings, I love games that let you change the UI scale. And this one shows you as you change it, which I love. That's cool. You can change the different text fonts right here. And there's additional ones there, which I think is really, really cool. So I really like that. They have some really good settings. And yeah, I appreciate that. So that's the first thing I'm going to mention. And again, here we go. We're going to start a new game, and I'll cut back when something cool happens. All right, so first off, the character creator is about where I like it. It was simple, it was fast, there was enough customization that made me happy. I know some people really like to do that, not my thing, so it was perfect for me. You do get to pick if you want to be married or what you're interested in, female or males. You know, lots of cool choices that are going to kind of set the tone for how you want to play your game. And then I wanted to read this message because I thought this was a good one. Lord Bomb, Logic Bomb, you have been chosen to join the ranks of my closest vassals to take care of the lands I've given you. It is the highest importance that you fulfill your duties and serve me to bring wealth and prosperity to our kingdom. I've made sure to make it my personal honor to share with you the basics of ruling. We will start with a small settlement in the south, and I've sent you some basic supplies, and I will guide you through the process. All right, we're going to get started now. All right, so we are progressing through the tutorial, and it's a very easy to follow tutorial. This game, unlike some other colony sims, looks simple on the outside, but there's some depth there. So you're going to definitely need to do the tutorial just to kind of figure it out, because it works a little different. It's not that doesn't make sense. It does make sense as you're going, but the fact that to modify something. So let's go over here to my farm because it's a good example. So when you set your farm area, which I did, I set household areas, and there's a forest over here, and there's fishing over here, as you saw on the bridge right here. You set all those, and you just drag and click, and it's simple. It all makes sense. But when you really want to get into the nuts and bolts of things, when you click on it, see all these tabs? These all have different stuff in them. Some of them, like assigned to a family. This is where you give ownership. You can set different kinds of taxes for that. So there's these, and I don't know if there's more later. It's kind of cool, and then you can set, you know, what they pay each season, so forth, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of cool. That's not very complicated, makes sense. But when you want to get more, if you go to adjust priorities, for example, this is where you can see all kinds of stuff. So there is sorting priorities. You have your products here. You have your animals. Here's your soil, which has a lot to do. This is where you actually plant. This is your soil regeneration. Yeah, there's trees. There's a lot more here than what it looks like. So it's not too confusing, but without doing the tutorial, you're not going to know where to look. So you're going to get more frustrated. So make sure you do the tutorial. So far, I really like the game. I like the depth that it offers. It's not overwhelming, as long as you know what you're doing. So make sure you take your time and get it all figured out. All right, we'll come back in when we get a little bit farther. One thing I want to mention, this just happened to me. My ruler kept starving. I couldn't figure out what was happening here until I figured it out that he got locked outside of his own house, so he couldn't get up and eat. I had servants assigned to making him food. I was like, why is he not eating? But yeah, so you're going to have a door there. This is a heads up. Alright, so we've cut back in. This tutorial is very, very long. This is a commitment. I've been working on this for hours at this point. Still, I'm on my biggest project yet, so I wanted to drop in and explain this one to you. I'm building a tavern. As you can see, it's almost done. So we need a wood block and we need the 10 beds built. But it's costing me all my resources. Now, when you're going through this tutorial, which is what I am, so you can see how big, how much I built here. There's a lot going on. It does drop you resources when you run out to keep you going, which is very, very nice. But it is very in-depth. So if you're not into super complex games, let me rephrase that. It's not complex. The menus are not perfect. The menus are hard to figure out sometimes. They're not bad now. They make sense. But if this stuff frustrates you, like when I click on here, I have to zone visibility, and then I can see this inn. And then here's all the things I can build in the inn. Here's all the different tabs, the family it's assigned to, blah, all this stuff. Adjust priorities. If I want to give the family resources, I open the warehouse book here and I select the family. These guys, I can see what they need, which is nice. This is what they're looking to sell. This is what they need. They need a bunch of straw. I don't even have that much straw. Everybody needs straw and wood. You just got to keep those gears turning to get that resources. I've already gave them a bunch of gold. But yeah, this is quite the project. So once you get that in, you can turn this off. You can see your structures better. As you can see, we're still building quite a bit here. But like here you go. This is my thatch roof here on this house that I built. Let's see. This is my cottage for my servants. This is my manor. Then I have the different family houses over here. I've got my farm. The woods, the royal woods over here. The carpentry station over here. And this is another house. So you display the temperature. There's just a lot of information. So you can tell a lot of love has went into this game and building it. With that said, it's very complicated at times and frustrating at times, even trying to figure out where do I go to do that? Because here's your walls, here's your floors, your roofs. This is some of the building materials you need. Your decorations. Those are all nice and easy to get to. But you can also click on the house, like I showed you earlier, but you got to have this selected again. And you can see all this specialized stuff you can put in here. Some of it's generalized, but some of it's specialized, like the bar, for instance. And then you get these notifications, which are nice. I have villagers fighting. You can clear them off, hit confirm. Inaccessible access. I get that a lot for some reason, but different reasons. I just haven't went around to fix them. So, alright, I just want to drop in, kind of update you guys. Very, very long, but very, very needed tutorial. If you like games that allow you to manage things, to micromanage things, to build things, to check on your people and your families to see what they need and give them the commodities. You can tax them. You can do all kinds of stuff. This game has some really, really cool features, but I do know right now it's not going to be for everyone just because of how complex it can get. And like I said, I'm still not even done with the tutorial. I know there's more to coming, so we'll catch up here again when we progress a little bit farther.
All right, we're dropping back in. This is the longest tutorial ever. That is just how detailed and complicated this game is. We have, let's see, last time we talked, look, I'm zoomed out on the map. I mean, there's still some to scroll. You can see how much I built. So plan carefully. I kind of made some buildings bigger than I needed to because I didn't realize how long this was going to take, and I have too many mountains that I can't do anything with that I know of yet. I'm assuming that's coming later. But as you can see, my map is getting pretty filled up. Like, over here, I guess, is my biggest space next. I've built so much since last time. We got the church and the clergy down here, the library, the quarters for the clergy. I think I had the Builders Guild, possibly. I can't remember. We had to come up here and build an inn. That was the last thing that we talked about, I believe, because I was telling you how how integral that was. And then now we're building a chapel of clergy up here. This is for the nobles, so your nobles don't have to be in church with your peasants. So yeah, there's a lot going on. So when you bring in clergy and stuff, there's a whole like education system built into that. Let's take a look at that real quick, because it took me a second to figure out. And you have to select who you want to promote, so and so. So like I can select these guys and send them to be a clergy. Then after that, then you need to go into, let's see if I can find this now. Again, too many different ways to do things here. Here we go. So once you select a family, down at the very bottom, here's your peasants, your nobles, here's your clergy. So you click on that, and it's a different tab up here, and it'll show you who I have in here in these different roles currently. And as they level up, you can promote them. So I promoted a person to be in these higher roles here. So we have these two, and so now they're leading. And then you can assign a librarian. There's beekeepers. There's all kinds of stuff, as you can see here. Winemakers, you know. Now, let me show you something else that's a little crazy. Just the different zones. So this is on the clergy side. You can have a library, chapel, church, and quarters. The peasant side has grown tremendously. And I don't know anything about this stuff, so I don't know if there's going to be a little tutorial that teaches all this to me, or when this tutorial is going to end. But if it goes through all this, I mean, holy crap, I barely touched these. But you can see all the different ones. Here's the essentials. I have messed with maybe half of these. Maybe a little bit more than that, actually. Maybe I put them all down. You know what? I put almost all these down, so that's good. So that's your different zones. There's just a lot to this game. And I don't want to sound negative, because this is a dream for some people, I'm sure. Like, being able to do this much in this much detail, customize everything. I mean, it's pretty cool. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just very, very tedious. So if you're not into games like that, then you might step away. But if you are, this might be the dream game for you, because it's got a lot going on, and I do enjoy it. It's just you know, I don't have enough time. Does that make sense? Like this is going to be a game that's going to consume you, and I don't have that kind of time to dedicate it to it right now. So I'm still working through the tutorial, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to guess hour 4 at least now, roughly, give or take. So we'll be back.
All right, everybody, we're back. We've built a graveyard, which is a new addition here, going along with the clergy side of things here. Let me highlight that. Here's the graveyard. The clergy chapel was up here. I can't remember if we had that. It's probably been about another hour playing. We have the hospital over here. Now we are tasked with building a fancy tavern. We built a normal tavern earlier, if you remember. Now we're doing a fancy tavern because, you know, to attract the fancy people, we need a fancy tavern. The fancy people, by the way, are nobles. So that's what we're working to build right now. I'm going to do a basic coverage of everything so we can kind of look over what we've done, and then we're going to wrap this video up because this tutorial is taking far longer than I estimated. And I want to kind of wrap up this first look video. There's a lot here. As I've said previously, if you are into deep colony simulators, this game is for you. If you are not, it is not for you. It's pretty simple. There's all kinds of stuff when you screw around your village. Like, so this right here. Let's take a look at it again. This is a household that I built for Pont. And you can see we got like a wooden table here and some stools and a fireplace. There's the beds. There's double beds and single beds. Small barrels for storage. There's cooking tables. There's shelves. Let's go through that real quick, actually. I've kind of looked at it here and there, but I never like went through it. So here are all the items that you can put inside this house. See, there's quite the list. Here's the family that it's assigned to, and you can cancel ownership and change it. You can change how they're taxed. You just have a ton of little options there. You're going to have things that are open to the public. This is a public area. You'll have certain things you can put in here. Let's take this away real quick. So we have a wolf hanging out here, a bench, lots of people. There's a well, things like that. I have Royal Forest. This is where they own this and they can harvest it. Families, houses, again, we've seen those. Here's your warehouses. I ended up not needing to build a second one. I was confused by some messages, so I built the second one over here. But here's my main warehouse. It's probably going to be good for your tutorial if you're playing like I am. Here's the farm area. I divided this up into planted farms and also animals and stuff over here on this side. See, there's the troughs and different things, the feeding stations, stuff like that. Let's see. My manor, honestly, is pretty pathetic. Like, this is my lord manor. What's the term? Hold on. Just a manor. And, you know, I build it. It's one of the first things you build. Like, maybe the third thing, I guess. I don't know. I can't remember. And I haven't really done much updating. I think I added, like, a fancy table at some point. A good wooden table is what they call it. So it's not really that nice of a manor. Some stuff here is only half done. So, look, only half the flooring's down here. The people will work, and so when you open your villager book here, you can pick on a family. You can pick a family. You're not going to pick on them. We're not going to beat you up. Actually, I'm in the wrong spot. You go to the warehouse, then you pick a family. So say guys. You can see what they want, and I think I showed this earlier where you can look at their wants and needs and stuff. You can grade them. You can see what they have. You can actually seize things too. I didn't cover that at all, but if you like go back a menu here, so let's close this out. Go back to warehouse, and then at the top you can see seize. And then from them, say I want to seize some of this grain. Like, you got too much grain. Seize that grain. There we go. What? I'm taking all their grain almost. I'm going to leave you a little bit of grain. I need grain. You guys got grain. We're going to make that work. They got copper. I'm going to seize that. It's kind of damn having Okeens, however you say that. Look at these wood rods. Not cool. We're going to seize those wood rods. 700 of these planks. Yeah, we'll seize those. So you can just do cool things like that. You can grant them things, or just give them to them for free. You can purchase things. Now, this is, I haven't really figured out what I was doing wrong. This is not selling here. I don't know if I have to set up my storefronts differently or not. I haven't sat down to mess with that completely to figure that out. But I know I showed you guys like all this stuff. At some point, you unlock more things than I have. So you can see there's a lot more building materials here for the walls, for the floors. The roofs are about the same. I think I've added a few. Here's like all the furniture. Quite a bit there. Your decorations. Production, which is interesting. Storage. Your zones, and I definitely covered the zones with it. And there's templates. You can also template things. I haven't messed with that yet, but I know you can do it. Here's underground resources. So there's hot maps in different tabs. Display beauty values, soil quality, temperature, all kinds of stuff. So I just wanted to cover that because I was kind of glancing over things and going over kind of fast. There's a lot of depth here. And this game, like I said earlier, if you are into this type of game, you're going to really like this one, I think. So definitely check it out if this is your style of game. Let's cover real quick. Again, this is sponsored by Catapult or Indie Boost and the developers of Lords and Villains. Honestly Games is the developers. The publisher is Fulcrum Publishing. Mostly positive reviews on Steam. Very positive all lifetime reviews on Steam. And you can pick this game up for $24.99, which is going to be a steal. If this is your style of game, you're going to be in love with it, and you're going to just absolutely enjoy the heck out of it. I also think if you're kind of on the border and you're not sure, you do have that 2-hour refund policy. Maybe check it out. 2 hours in the tutorial, you're not going to be nearly done, obviously, but you're going to have an idea what the game is like, I think, at that point, and you'll know if it's not for you or not. Do want to mention that this was in early access, and it just came out of EA, full release November the 10th. Want to make sure I didn't misspeak that at the beginning, that it just released. It was in early access for, I think, at least a year, maybe a little bit longer. So, all right, I'm Eric. Thank you for sticking with me in this video. I appreciate you. Make sure you give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more content. Have yourself a great day.